The Lokpal bill. The draft accessed by NDTV has so far remained absolutely silent on the issue of whether or not to include the Prime Minister and in what form. But now, as the panel meets for its last set of discussions, the chairman of the drafting panel, Abhishek Singhvi, said the panel saw three different options on the issue of the Prime Minister's inclusion, and they are now looking for a consensus within as they wind up deliberations.
Let's look at something that's a very, very important part of this entire debate, and one that the draft that at least I have read is silent on, and this perhaps could evolve. The last meetings are to take place yet. Whether the Prime Minister should be within the ambit of the Lokpal. Fiercely debated in the public and political space. Before I ask you to answer why the draft is silent, and you may choose to say you're not going to comment on the draft, but the issue remains, it's an irony of history that your father, L.M. Singhvi, is the one who gave the political lexicon the word Lokpal. And interestingly, Jawaharlal Nehru reacted to the, to the Scandinavian word, the original, which was ombudsman, and in fact said, which zoo is this animal from? And this is something that we find is mentioned in the draft that I have read. At the time in 1963, Jawaharlal Nehru as Prime Minister was fascinated by the ombudsman to be called the Lokpal because it even had the authority to scrutinize the role of the Prime Minister. Your panel has looked at the history of the previous bills. The last three bills have all included the Prime Minister within the ambit of the Lokpal. The draft that is currently in circulation does not. Why are you shying away from bringing the Prime Minister's office within the ambit?
Barkha, first of all, let me repeat the caveat. I have no knowledge of the contents of any draft you're talking about. So let's talk about the concept. I mean, obviously, there are all kinds of reports and I don't know which draft you're talking about. But answer number one, simplest answer, we have today not reached the stage of adoption, rejection or dissension on the Prime Minister.
But in terms of public perception and political morality, it's a huge issue.
If we have done 24 of the 25 issues and we have one issue left to discuss, we are towards the close.
Why did you say that for the end? Because isn't it true that there are many deep political divisions on this issue?
Actually, I personally believe, I'm at liberty to say it openly to you, I'm not going to discuss any of the actual stands which we're going to take ultimately, but the lines are clearly drawn and each has a merit. I am not at all saying any particular point of view is meritless.
What do you think? What do you think?
Yes, one stand, include the Prime Minister fully mind you, no substantive exclusion, but defer prosecution.
Yeah.
Another stand, exclude him altogether, absolutely. That's also a view. Third, include him, but with substantive exclusions on subject matter. Now, each has a point of view, each has a problem of debate. I think we can go to sort it out quite easily, and I don't see that as a very major issue as much as the press makes it out, because the Prime Minister, whether he's partially in or fully in, it's not going to be a very major issue.
But isn't it ironic that Nehru in your father's time, Manmohan Singh today, you have Prime Minister saying we don't mind, but you have people around them saying no.
But how are you assuming that it is the A party or B party wanting the Prime Minister out? That's not so. I mean, this is not the stand. Let me tell you that the government draft, I'll tell you, the government, let's take the government draft. The government draft fully includes the Prime Minister actually. But only thing is, he's fully liable, but he's to be prosecuted after he demits office.
That's right.
So that means there's no substantive exclusion. So, my personal view, I mean, I think I'm not suggesting that I bind. My personal view is that in a sense, when you include the Prime Minister fully, you only defer prosecution, you are achieving a lot of stability in terms of also having him accountable and not destabilizing. But then I am quite happy with what the members agree. I'm not giving my point of view. I mean, I have no problem if the majority of members feel that there should be a different model. So that's what we're going to sort it out. It's not a major issue, it's not a divisive issue, it's not a fundamental